I'm Lucy Alexander with the AIChE Institute for Sustainability here at the 2015 Carbon Management Technology Conference with the Honorable Charles McConnell, who is the former Assistant Secretary of Energy at the U.S. Department of Energy. So first of all, can you summarize for us your involvement in energy and the environment?
Well, our initiative at RICE is all about impactful and relevant research. Research in all areas of technology, but also research in all areas of impactful policy as well. And so as we look across the board at RICE and look at the energy profile across the board in the United States, we focus on relevance and impact. For that, what that means to us is that if you're really going to do something about the environment and our energy policy in this country and the whole capability to deliver an energy policy for our citizens, you really have to focus on fossil fuels. It's important that people recognize that wind and solar and the renewables are incredibly important. And a lot of that work is going on across the U.S., but at RICE, in our initiative, we've put a particular sharp focus around fossil fuels. Not because we want to continue to simply use fossil fuels, but how important it is to have relevant and impactful transformative technologies associated with those fuels so we can have a sustainable energy future in America.
Okay. So, can you comment on how important CCUS is today?
Well, CCUS is incredibly important today, and it's more importantly going to be incredibly important globally, not just in the U.S., obviously, over the next 50 to 100 years. We're going to double the world's demand for energy. We're going to add an additional 2 billion people by 2050. Most of these people will be in underdeveloped countries that will need to be electrified and need the energy. That energy is largely going to come from fossil fuels because IEA has already projected that 80% of the world's energy will still come from fossil fuels by 2050. So all of these compelling reasons why we need to focus on fossil fuels drives us to focus on CCUS. We need to capture the CO2 so that it doesn't go to the atmosphere. We believe in global warming. We believe in the impacts of greenhouse gases, and we believe that CO2 is the largest contributor. I think the scientific evidence is pretty compelling. But that's easy. That's the easy part. The hard part is how do you fix it? Many people would argue that you would put up enough windmills and solar panels as fast as you possibly can, and we don't believe that's the viable choice. As a matter of fact, IEA has already projected that if a world going forward has CCUS as part of its strategy to mitigate greenhouse gases, that it's 134% less expensive than pursuing a world without CCUS and fossil fuels. Those that would argue that you can get away from fossil fuels fast enough are taking an expensive and I think, in my view, an immature approach to how to solve the problem. So our challenge is going to be to solve the problem with transformative technologies. CCUS is at the very tip of that spear.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Charles.
Pleasure, Lucy. Nice being with you, and it's a great conference. You got a great organization, a lot of really good attendees across a broad base of technology as well as policy, and like I said in my remarks, it's a crossroads, and you have a chance to move that forward. So delighted to be with you.
Thank you.
You bet.